Hey everybody, how's it going today? My name is Buddy, and today in Illustrator CS6 we're going to learn how to create patterns for fills that we can use. And they're going to end up looking kind of like something like this. I'm going to teach you how to use them with using objects. So I'm just going to go back so I can start out with you guys, and I'll go to nothing. Go ahead and pick out some objects. Maybe I'll use a star tool, and I'll just draw one out, and I'll put it somewhere. I'll just put it like that's good enough. And I'm gonna actually make this a little smaller. And then I'm gonna duplicate these. Hold down Alt and bring it across. And I'm using my smart guides to line these up. Now these should be pretty good, and I'm just gonna change the color on some of these so we can get like some cool looking patterns. And pink, that's good. Now what you're going to do is you're going to select all your objects. You're going to go to Object up here in the menu, and then you're going to go to Pattern, then you're going to go to Make. This will pop up. You can choose not to show it again. All it does is saying that your pattern has been added to the swatches, and any changes made while in pattern editing mode will be applied to the swatch upon exit. So this is the pattern options over here. We'll show you. I'll hit OK. And now it's going to create a pattern for us, and it's showing us what it's going to look like when it's applied over the whole entire thing. We can now mess around with these pattern options. So the first button that we've got here is the pattern tile tool. If I click that, it's just going to create pretty much a pattern tile. So go ahead and click it, make sure it's clicked, and then you can drag in a square, and it creates like a kind of new tile pattern. I'm just going to hit Control Z to get back to where I am now. You can name your pattern, and I'll call this color stars or something like that. We can change our tile type, bricks, and then hex or hex by row. Sometimes some of these don't work well with other ones. Like this one doesn't work too well with this pattern, unless you want the overlapping. But brick is pretty cool, or grid, they're all cool. It's just changing the way that they go about each other. We've got our width and our height that we can mess around with. Then we've got size tile to art. And when you select that, it's gonna size the pattern tile to the applied object. And it's gonna specify horizontal and vertical spacing. So I click this, and now you're able to change the horizontal and vertical spacing. Now I don't know, yeah, you can change out the spacing here, as you can see, between the pattern. So this is the original pattern. So there's not going to be any spacing in between each of these stars that I have here, as you can see over here. But it's going to do the spacing between the group that I made, the group of stars that I made. So there's going to be spacing here and then here. Now that doesn't look good on this kind of thing because I had everything together. It would be better if everything was just together. We've got overlap. And when you have these overlaps, you can switch from left to front or bottom and front. I don't have any overlap, but let's go to hex here. We can switch our overlaps. Have whatever ones you want overlapping. Go back to grid. We've got copies. 5x5 copies. Or do we want? That's a 1x1. Here's 3x3. You can just make it big as you want. Okay, the next one, dim copies to 70%, or you can just keep them at 100%. And show tile edge, that's gonna, if I click on that, you can see that the blue edge here comes off. And the last one here is show swatch bounds. and then we're not really seeing that. If we go up in here into our swatches panel, you can see that color stars is now in there. And all you got to do is click on the X here when you're done modifying. Or you can just click on this done up here and it'll be all done. Now we've got the pattern here ready to use on something else. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to delete these out, and I'm going to make let's try a rectangle. And we have our color stars pattern already selected. I'll just change this to black so it looks a little better for the stroke. I'm just going to make this. And then inside of it is our color stars. And there we go. That's how you create a pattern to use for your projects. Now, if you want to delete that out, all you got to do is click on it in the swatches panel and then click on delete swatch over here. So that's it for this tutorial on how to create your own patterns out of objects. And these patterns will be used for filling in your object. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. You guys all have a great day today.